In this video, we will learn about exchange of gases in animals. First is characteristics of respiratory surface for efficient exchange of gases. All animals except gut parasites need oxygen for respiration and expel out carbon dioxide produced during respiration. The surface where this gaseous exchange from surrounding takes place is called respiratory surface. It is specially adapted for efficient exchange of gases and may exhibit following features. First, the respiratory surface has large surface area. Second, it is extremely thin and moist for efficient diffusion of respiratory gases. Third, it is richly supplied with blood capillaries, that is, it is highly vascular. Fourth, respiratory surface is permeable to respiratory gases. Fifth, there should be a provision for carrying oxygen to respiratory surface and carrying away carbon dioxide from the respiratory surface, that is, respiratory pigment should be present. Now let's understand about the exchange of gases in aquatic animals. First is direct respiration, that is exchange of gases in unicellular and simple multicellular animals. Unicellular animals like amoeba and paramecium and simple multicellular animals like sponges, coelentrates, planarians and free-living nematodes show direct respiration. The oxygen dissolved in surrounding water diffuses directly in their body cells and carbon dioxide diffuses out of the cell into water. Second is indirect respiration, exchange of gases in complex multicellular aquatic animals. Multicellular animals have evolved different organs for uptake of oxygen and getting rid of carbon dioxide. Aquatic animals depend on oxygen dissolved in water, therefore exchange of respiratory gases occurs between respiratory organs and water. The respiratory organs present in aquatic animals are: first, skin. In earthworm, nereis, leech and frog, skin help in exchange of gases. Respiration through skin is called as cutaneous respiration. Next is gills. Aquatic arthropods such as prawns, crabs, mollusks such as pilla and unio, and fishes have gills for respiration. Respiration by gills is called branchial respiration. So if respiration is by skin, it is called as cutaneous respiration, and if it is by gills, it is called as branchial respiration. Now let's understand the difference in breathing rate of aquatic animals and terrestrial animals. Much lesser amount of oxygen is present in water as compared to air, so a large volume of water has to constantly move over the respiratory surface during branchial respiration. Therefore, breathing rate in aquatic animals is much faster as compared to breathing rate in terrestrial ones. In bony fishes, gills are covered with a fold of skin called operculum. Water is drawn through mouth and passes over the gills. When the water passes over the gills, exchange of gases occurs between the blood flowing through gills filaments and water. Here we can observe the same thing, that water is drawn in through mouth and it is going to pass over the gills. Here we can observe that gills have network of blood capillary where the gaseous exchange will take place. Moving ahead, here we have an activity. The aim of the activity is to observe breathing in fish in an aquarium and to compare the rate of breathing in fish and man. Let's understand the procedure. Sit in front of an aquarium. Observe that a fish opens its mouth and raises operculum to open the opercular aperture. Notice what happens when a fish opens its mouth and then its opercular aperture. Try to observe the coordination between opening and closing of mouth and of operculum. Count the number of times a fish opens and closes its mouth and its opercular aperture by raising opercular fold. Count the number of breaths you take in 1 minute and repeat the readings at least 3 times. So here we can record the breathing rate in fish and in yourself in the given table. So here we have serial number, that is we have taken 3 readings. Then the number of time operculum opens and closes per minute is given by x1, x2 and x3. So we have taken 3 readings. So for the first reading it will be x1, for second reading it will be x2 and for third reading it will be x3. Now number of breaths taken by you per minute is y1, y2 and y3. Now we will be able to conclude that breathing rate is more in fish than us. That means x1 will be greater than y1, x2 will be greater than y2 and x3 will be greater than y3. So the amount of oxygen dissolved in water is much less than air. That's the reason breathing rate in fish is more than us. Therefore, fish needs more water to pass over its gills and hence breathes faster. Moving ahead, let's understand exchanges of gases in terrestrial animals. Terrestrial animals make use of oxygen present in air because they live on land and air is surrounding them. They have following organs for obtaining oxygen from air. First is trachea or air tubes in insect, centipedes and millipedes. Second is book lungs in case of scorpions and spiders. Third is pulmonary sac in pilla. Fourth is lungs in all vertebrates except fishes. I hope this topic is clear to you. Thank you.